Hello. A local organization started more than 10 years ago to help Pittsburgh's Latino community is growing. We'll hear about the progress of their brand new community center and how immigrants are relying on them like never before. And thousands will fill downtown Pittsburgh in the coming days for Pittsburgh Pride 2025. Organizers are here to tell us what's planned and why this year's march is so important. Plus, another Pittsburgher wins a Pulitzer. Dr. Edda Fields-Black is her name, and she's sharing with us the heartfelt reaction readers are having to this new story about Harriet Tubman. So pull up a chair and meet us at the corner. Intersection starts right now. Hello, I'm Lisa Smith, the Director of Community Impact at KDKA+, and the host of Intersections. For more than 10 years, Casa San Jose has been home for resources and support for Pittsburgh's growing Latino community in Beachview and beyond. The organization offers a number of services for immigrants and refugees who are making Pittsburgh home. Joining us to talk more about the work of Casa San Jose is Monica Ruiz. She is the Executive Director of Casa San Jose, along with the Chief of Staff, Veronica Lozada. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Thank you, Lisa.
Absolutely. So, Monica, first of all, for people who maybe aren't familiar, tell us a little bit about what Casa San Jose is and why it was started.
Sure, it's a resource center, and we try to connect people with resources that they might need to get better established here in Pittsburgh. We have a lot of people coming from all over the world here, and Pittsburgh's a little hard to navigate sometimes. So I think the work that we do works really hard to connect people with those resources so that they stay.
Yeah. So it's been about 13 years, I believe, since it was started. What do you think is fueling the growth?
The opportunities that we have here in Pittsburgh, and a lot of the programs that we have are created just to help that.
Yeah. So Veronica, talk a little bit about some of the programs that are offered. I know there's all kinds of programs for young people and employment. There's a new technology program. Tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing.
So what we want to highlight today is our economic development program that we are starting a couple years ago. And inside that, we have the ESL program that is offered in different areas around Allegheny County. And also we have our tech program, that one is that, I would say, very successful. Yeah, so we are providing, you know, with the generally tech classes, and at the end of the classes, each individual is able to like take a computer home with them. Wow. You know, one of the things is happening is that you have our clients, you know, low-income clients that have accessibility, you know, the technology. So for us, providing a computer, providing the classes, and providing those accessibilities, you know, will help them get back there to the workforce. And also we do our starting program that is a home health care program. So we're like providing training so we can provide a path for those individuals, you know, to get into the field.
Yeah. So, you know, part of, you know, what we hear a lot about here in Pittsburgh is the need for more people to take more jobs. Yes. So how does your programs help with the people who need the jobs and the companies who need workers?
Yeah, we have really good working relationships with organizations like the Pittsburgh Hispanic Development Corporation. They do tons of job fairs, and companies reach out to us all of the time because they want employees. And so the programs that Veronica just described are exact ways, they're pathways forwards. People learning how to speak English, people learning how to type an email or even like a Google spreadsheet, which sometimes some of us still struggle with, are really great ways. And the one thing that we have an aging population here in Pittsburgh. And so that program that helps people get certified as home health caregivers is so important because we don't have a lot of people to fill those roles here.
Yeah. The one thing that's really exciting right now is your community center, which is being renovated. Tell us a little bit about the community center and like what's going to be happening there once it's finished.
Oh, we're very excited about that one.
Yes.
Yeah, so we start construction this year, and we're hope, you know, they like move next year around summer or fall, and it's going to be the heart for the community. Our community center, as the name says, community center is going to be a house. You know, that we're going to be welcoming all our families, and we're going to be located in Beachview, where Casa San Jose started.
Yeah, and we're showing like one of the images right now. In terms of like what it will do in terms of Casa San Jose being able to really centralize your services. Will that be part of it?
Absolutely. So right now we rent space all around the city, all around the county actually. And so this will help us have a home, like Beto said, like a home base of where our services will be provided. Beachview has a very high concentration of youth that are located there, and we don't have a rec center there or a community center. And so we're really looking to provide that space, not only for Latino youth, but for all the youth that are there as well.
Yeah. Now, obviously, the one thing that's been happening lately is things that are impacting the immigrant community based on some of the changes federally. How is that impacting people here locally in Pittsburgh? What are you guys seeing? Are you seeing, ICE and things like that, and then how are people reacting to it?
Yeah, so ICE is very, very active here. Every single day they're picking people up. Since January, hundreds of people have been picked up. We get many of these calls at Casa. We have a hotline where people can call if ICE is at their door or if ICE is in their community or at their place of work. So it's really important for people to know their rights, both immigrants and non-immigrants, so that they can be either protecting themselves or protecting their neighbors. So we've started to do legal clinics where we have volunteer attorneys come in and they give free legal advice to folks so that they know maybe they do have a way for some sort of relief. Or we also have clinics with family attorneys that do power of attorney in case that there is no way for relief, and then they need to plan for what's going to happen to their children and any properties that they might have. Yeah,
we're almost out of time, but we want to make sure that we also talk about the fact that you have a big fundraiser coming up, Fiesta del Sol. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, the big fundraising, that's a party. I would say it's not fundraising, it's more like a party where we're going to celebrate, our achievements for the year. Fiesta del Sol is going to be on January 4th.
No. June 14th.
June 14th, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We do have another, gathering for the community around December and January where we also do a community gathering, but our fundraising is going to be June 14th.
June 14th, and it's at the Circuit Center Ballroom in the South Side off of Hot Metal Street, and so, but that information is on our website too.
Okay, and we're showing some information on our screen right now, and then it's also the great thing is going to be a mariachi, music and cuisine, and a raffle. So casasanjose.org is the website.
It's not your usual fundraiser. Like Vero said, it is a fiesta, so come bring your dancing shoes.
All right, and it's formal too, so dress up.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you both so much for being with us. We really appreciate it, and we'll have you back another time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, coming up, Pride Month is right around the corner, and so is the big kickoff weekend. We'll have all the plans, intersections. We'll be right back. Well, June is Pride Month, and it's a time to remember the 1969 Stonewall riots and celebrate the LGBTQ community. In Pittsburgh, the Pride March and Parade has been a tradition since 1973, and it has grown from about 50 people to now thousands. And the big event is right around the corner. This year, the kickoff with lots of events, including the parade march begins on May 30th. And here with all the details are two of the organizers of Pittsburgh Pride 2025, Dina Stanley, who is the founder director of Trans Uniting. Also with us is Dwayne Binion. He is the co-creator of True Tea Pittsburgh. Thank you both so much for being with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Dina, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit about this year's theme. If I'm getting it right, it's Uniting Diversity.
Absolutely.
What is that meaning?
So for me, that means everyone, no matter your gender, no matter your color, no matter, if you're an immigrant or not, we all want to come together and we're going to celebrate. In this darkness that we have happening now, we're going to unite as one, and we're going to have a little bit of joy.
Yeah, you talked about what's happening currently. What is the feeling right now in the LGBTQ community, just around things that are changing and how it impacts the community?
Yes, so we are being erased. Our elders and ancestors face these the same plight. So we are just gearing up for that fight again. It's unfortunate that we have to do this all over again, but we are ready.
Yeah. Dwayne, how do you think that will impact the march this year?
Honestly, I feel like in these trying times, as we've seen in previous years, this is what brings us together. You know what I mean? It's going to make us stronger. It's going to unite, and I think that the numbers are going to go up this year. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excited.
So tell us a little bit about some of the key events that are going to be happening over the weekend. I know, like I said, it starts March.
Friday, yeah.
I keep saying March because it's
It's
a
the
March.
M's, yeah.
Sorry,
It is the M's.
Anyway, May 30th. What happens on May 30th?
Yeah, so this year's festivities, we've listened to the people, right? We surveyed the audience last year, and they wanted more opportunities to create memories. So we kick off Friday, May the 30th. We have a Pride prom for the first time, which we're really excited to
Super excited.
present this year. And then we actually wrap that day up with a ball at the community center as well, which has become a highlight of Pride every year as well. Moving into Saturday and Sunday, we go back to the park on the north side at West Allegheny Park. We have a day full of performances. There's 100+ vendors, maybe more than that. I think
There's 325 vendors.
Yes.
Wow.
And
you
we
got
have
that number.
yeah. Been crunching them, and we have over 70 local artists that we're excited to present as well amongst the 4 stages.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go back to the prom. Tell us a little bit about why you guys wanted to have a prom this year.
Yeah, I think this is an opportunity for our LGBT community members to rewrite our history, right? A lot of us did not get to celebrate prom the way that we saw fit in school. I mean, we went with who we were told to go with, and or we didn't go at all. So this is kind of our opportunity to relive those moments. You can go to prom with who you see fit, be who you are, and amongst other people that are like us as well.
Yeah,
So.
and have a good time doing it.
And have a good time, right? And look stylish, right?
Yeah.
Like-
Yes. And then with the parade march this year, you also are expecting a really large turnout. Is there a Grand Marshal this year? Because I know in past years, you guys have had, and I have not heard anybody mention the Grand Marshal. So
Yes.
you can say it here first.
All right, so our Grand Marshal this year is Jeff Friedman. So Jeff has been very instrumental in the Pride celebration here in Pittsburgh for 44 years. Like, just an amazing individual, and always shows up all of the time. And we also have one of our local RuPaul Drag Race girlies. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be amazing. Y'all gonna get it on Monday, so look out on Monday for that. There will be our National Grand Marshal that will be those 2 amazing individuals that are gonna be hitting it off. We are looking around 180,000 people to come out this year, and it's gonna be phenomenal. It is gonna be one for the history books for sure.
Yeah. The other thing that I know you like to have available are some resources. So tell us a little bit about some of the resources that people will be able to get while they're attending all of these activities.
Absolutely. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, so obviously for our community and the work that we do between our 2 spaces, one of the most important things is eradicating HIV and or AIDS, right? So Pride is going to be filled with all of the amazing healthcare providers, including Allies, True Tea will be in the building, Hugh Lane Wellness Foundation, and plenty more. We also have opportunities for safety kits for drug testing as well. Obviously, we want to prevent folks from using drugs, right? But if you do, we want to make sure that you do that safely as well. So folks like Prevention Point Pittsburgh will also be on site as well with drug testing kits and other resources as well.
Yeah, we have a whole wellness village this year. It's going to be it's just going to be phenomenal. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, and then really quickly, there's also activities for kids.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have a whole children's village that will be separate from the main event that will be spearheaded. Look, we here. Spearheaded by the Hugh Lane Wellness Foundation, and they will have a lot of activities up there, bouncy houses. You know, they will have different like cornholes and a good DJ up there, storybook telling by some drag queens. It's just going to be a good time because they should be celebrated and have a space for them as well. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, we're kind of out of time, but obviously you guys have a lot happening, and I know you're super busy, but thank you so much for coming and sharing, and hopefully you will see 180,000.
Yeah,
we will.
We're ready.
All right.
Thanks again.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, coming up, we are hearing from Pittsburgh's newest Pulitzer-Prize winner, Intersections. We'll be right back. Well, Pittsburgh is home to another Pulitzer-Prize winner. Edda Fields-Black, a history professor at CMU, won the Pulitzer for history for her book, Combee, Harriet Tubman, the Combee River Raid, and Black Freedom During the Civil War. She shared with us what winning means to her and how readers have reacted to her book.
Winning the Pulitzer Prize in history is a dream come true. I began to think about the possibilities really when I signed my advance contract with Oxford, because I signed the contract in February 2020. We know what happened in March 2020. But then that same year in May, my editor, with whom I had just signed a contract, edited a book, the book which won the Pulitzer Prize in history. So I felt as if I was on the right team. And I hoped that we had the right stuff. And then I kind of forgot about it and got down to writing, you know?
For people who maybe aren't familiar with the book, tell us what it's about and in that personal connection that you discovered as you were researching the Combee River raids and Harriet Tubman.
So Combee is about the Combee River Raid, which took place in June 1st through 3rd, 1863, in the South Carolina and Georgia Low Country on what I call the Sleepy Serpentine Combee River. Harriet Tubman was the leader of, Harriet Tubman comes down to Beaufort, South Carolina in May of 1862. She recruited, she trained, she commanded a group of 8 or 9 men who were spies, scouts, and pilots, and she herself comes down to be a spy and scout for the U.S. Army Department of the South. And these Tubman and her men piloted Colonel James Montgomery, who was the commander of the mission, with the 2nd South Carolina Volunteers, black soldiers, the 3rd Rhode Island Heavy Artillery, 1 battery of white soldiers, up the Combee River. They burned 7 rice plantations to the ground, cut burned a pontoon bridge which severed the supply line from rice that the Confederate planters were growing on the Combee River, exporting it, as well as using it to feed the Confederate citizens and the Confederate military. So they burned that bridge and cut that supply line. And they liberated 756 people. I argue in Combee that this was the largest slave rebellion in U.S. history. The main characters in Combee are Harriet Tubman, of course, but also the people she freed in the raid. And I'm telling the story of the raid through these formerly enslaved and illiterate people who didn't leave the kinds of records that historians usually use, but who are testifying in pension files years after their service during the Civil War. And the last main character in Combee is really the environment. It's the rice fields. We know that the enslaved people were in the rice fields hoeing rice at 4 o'clock in the morning when they first sensed, heard, smelled, felt the vibrations of these armed U.S. Army boats coming up the river. They knew it was freedom. They knew that freedom was finally coming for them. And I wanted to try to put as much as possible, as much as we possibly can in the 21st century, put the reader in their shoes, standing in those rice fields, knowing that freedom had finally come.
And one of the people freed was was a relative.
My great 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 grandfather, Hector Fields, was not freed in the raid, he fought in the raid. So Hector was liberated sometime after this big battle that took place in Beaufort called the Battle of Port Royal. That was November 1861. And he joined the 2nd South Carolina Volunteers in March of 1863. And he fought in the raid. He was on the boat with Harriet Tubman. And I didn't know this. I was well into researching Combee before I was able to put all of those pieces together.
What's been the reaction? I know you've done a lot of, talks at museums and things like that, bookstores and things.
Yeah, the reaction has been amazing. It has really just, the outpouring has been phenomenal. I maybe I should have known. It would be hard to imagine how much Harriet Tubman touches people and for how many people, and I'm talking about Black people, I'm talking about white people, I'm talking about, people from every Asian people, Hispanic people, I mean, people from everywhere who feel a close kinship to Harriet Tubman. And I'm not just talking about women. The guys, with tears in their eyes are just so passionate about Harriet. And then you have the people, and they're not all mutually exclusive, right? Who just connect with the freedom seekers. They connect with the freedom seekers. I cannot tell you how many times people will tell me, and there's about 4 or 5 places in the book where people are crying and where they remember where they're crying. And so when they meet me, they tell me about their experiences.
Are there talks around maybe this becoming a movie?
Nothing definitive nearly yet. But yes, that buzz is starting, and that is another dream come true. Absolutely. To see Harriet Tubman and Minus Hamilton, who is one of the main freedom seekers. He's the leading man, Harriet's the leading woman. To see them on the stage would be, or the screen, big or small, would be phenomenal.
And Edda Fields-Black will receive her Pulitzer Prize in October in New York City. I'll have my last word when we come back. Community is a word that seems easily defined as a group living or working together in a common location or society. That's the commune part of the word. On the other hand, the unity part of the word seems not as easy to achieve because within the commune are many uncommon factors, the characteristics and people that are different but under the definition of unity become one. So community really means uniting our common and uncommonness into one unified group. It's essentially out of many, one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Intersections.